Like and subscribe right now or this spider will crawl on your face when you are sleeping. Today's video is about an American reality television show, Hotel Hell, which was created, hosted, and narrated by Gordon Ramsay. On the series, he features visiting multiple struggling hotel establishments in the United States to reverse their misfortunes. So, now I'm going to cover whether or not the hotels featured on Hotel Hell are they still open. Keating Hotel. The Keating Hotel cost the owner Eddie Kane millions of dollars because of its heavy amounts of Ferrari-themed decor. With all of this investment, he was expecting to make big businesses, but nothing worked out in his favor, so therefore, he called the legendary chef and rescuer Gordon Ramsay. When Ramsay went there at first, he liked the outside of the hotel. But when he stepped inside the hotel, his opinion changed, and he said that with a completely red reception area, it looked like a nightclub. The hotel's concierge, Christos, greeted him and took him to his garage-like room that will cost him $759 for a night. Being a mix of modern and nightlife, the room's decor is very odd. In fact, in the middle of the living room, it has a random $20,000 jacuzzi. Even the room's decor looks cheap and shows the sign of neglect with wrinkled sheets and a broken socket. Things get worse when Chef Ramsay, who's already unimpressed, orders room service, which tastes awful and gets served in a takeaway plastic container. When he meets with the owner, he shares that your hotel is failing because you aren't providing them a good service, which angers him, and he says that his hotel is luxurious even though it seems that he never inspected his own hotel. When Ramsay tries to taste their food at the hotel's restaurant, he is astounded after knowing that his food is bland and dry. Not just that, the dessert of bacon and chocolate pizza is totally unappetizing. When he talks with the staff about it, they say that Kane only prefers his opinions over others in order to make things better for customer service and experience. Then, Ramsay forces the owner to hear some customers' complaints as a wake-up call, which include the hotel's cheap decor, inadequate furnishings, having bad smells, subpar food, and double charging. Then the owner ended up giving the hotel an aesthetic overhaul and revamping the menu, which resulted to make things finally better, and since then things have been relatively best as Keating Hotel has got a 3.5 stars on Yelp and 339 good reviews. In fact, now people compliment the interior and location, but others complain about the service quality, hidden fees, and noise. Interestingly, one of the rooms has been named after Gordon Ramsay as a token of thanks to commemorate his help. Lakeview Hotel. Lakeview is a hotel with a restaurant and an ice cream parlor. It's only for adults, owned by Brent and Anthony McDonald. They have been losing $30,000 a month as a result of local bushfires. Since then, their business took a severe hit. They reach out to Gordon Ramsay in hopes that his help could help them to turn things around. When Ramsay arrives at the hotel, Brent parks his ride instead of the advertised valet parking. When the famous chef enters, he's extremely disturbed by the abundance of cobwebs spread all over the place and the dust. Brent says that for 3 weeks they've been closed since he went on a holiday to Mexico, so that's why they have no ice cream for him to sample. After knowing this, Ramsay gets disappointed. Chef Ramsay visits the restaurant to try some good food, and so he orders some burgers. But when they serve him, he notices that the patties are dry, so it's obvious they're using frozen meat. Then apparently Brent expresses that in the area there's no fresh burgers, so Ramsay goes to a competing restaurant and shows him that they have. Then the Hotel Hell's host heads to his room and uses a UV light and sees a collection of nasty stains and fluids on the duvet and sheets. Again, Brent claims that the sheets were cleaned a week ago, which is obviously not true. To prove Brent that he's going wrong, Ramsay gathers the staff and some locals who give negative reviews about Lakeview. To ensure the hotel's success, Chef Ramsay started to clean, revamp, and transform the building after this wake-up call. When the filming was done, Brent went back to his old pathetic ways, so therefore Hotel Lakeview's reputation fell as Brent hadn't followed any of Gordon's advice and as they reversed the menu Gordon proposed. The hotel is still somehow up and kicking, but the reviews on Yelp aren't so good. Some are loving the hotel and some complain about discrimination and loud noises. If you ask me, honestly, it's long overdue for this business to close down. 4 Seasons Inn. A former construction worker named Sandy McDougal is the owner of Four Seasons Inn, which has 14 rooms and a dog kennel. He spent $1.1 million on the inn, so his business could grow bigger. But he's only losing money and can't pay his debt. Even his dog Layla can be spotted running around in the dining room or lobby, as she has free range of the hotel, but it doesn't make visitors very happy. The owner asks help from the legendary Gordon Ramsay just to get out of all this mess. Ramsay expects to be visiting a luxury 5-star Four Seasons hotel, but he's met with disappointment instead. When he enters, he gets unimpressed by seeing an empty reception and an untidy dog's bed. When he meets with the owner, he takes him to his unfinished room, where he sees an unmade bed and some empty beer cans. Then the housekeeper Erin takes Ramsay to a ready room and reveals that the inn has no affiliation with the Four Seasons Hotel. The hotel hell host heads over to the dining room, as he has seen enough and orders something in the hope that his experience will be better. But the meals Ramsay tries are bland and unappetizing. Therefore, he goes into the kitchen to have a chat with the kitchen staff, and supposedly the chef Steve blames all of this on McDougal, as he has all the control over the menu and ingredients. The management and owner are the biggest problem according to the staff members, Gwen, Erin, and Richard. Then Ramsay explained to McDougal that he's an innkeeper and not a chef, and even shows him how filthy the inn is. Later on, he realizes his wrongdoings and let the famous chef rename the place to Layla's Riverside Lodge. Even he made the reception area look warm and welcoming, and even for the restaurant he created a better menu, decorated the rooms, and best of all, revamped the dog kennels. After these improvements, bookings went significantly up, and McDougal received tons of support from viewers. Even one reviewer on Yelp said, "You could just tell the owner really cares about people and dogs and truly cares about us." Most of the reviews are positive, with the lodge receiving a good 3.5 stars with 17 unique reviews. Well, if you want a pet-friendly lodge to stay in Vermont, then go to this hotel to enjoy the fruits of Ramsay's labor. Murphy's Hotel. Murphy's Hotel is actually a quite old building which was constructed over 150 years ago. It is now a registered landmark and has a beautiful vineyard surrounding it. It has been visited by some of the most notable people, including the former presidents as well. However, this hotel was purchased by a group of friends, Brian Goss, Kevin Clerico, and Joe Ladagnola, several years ago. Well, these friends didn't do much good in the business. The dining area and the hotel's bar is often used as a party location by locals, therefore the noise keeps their guests awake most nights. From the overwhelming lack of clientele, it was obvious that their investments were seemingly going to waste, so they called out to Gordon Ramsay for some help. When Ramsay's arrival, he's extremely impressed with the history of the hotel, but his feelings totally change when he finally enters. He even expresses that the interior's decor is not only dated but doesn't even really feel historic like the historic status this hotel holds. A woman named Kenita Smith greeted Ramsay, who has been working for a year at the hotel. She shares that the biggest problem at this hotel is the owner's lack of management skills. She feels that not only are they neglecting their duties, but they are also using the hotel as a personal play area. Later on, Ramsay visits the very pink room, which is actually the dining area, and then he meets with the owner, Brian. He narcissistically made himself Employee of the Month. How immature of him. Well, when he orders some food to taste, it comes out as not only insipid and rancid, but it's also very cold, and when Brian tries to taste it, he has to agree on that too. After feeling disgusted with the meal at the hotel, he goes into the kitchen to do some examination and finally finds out that there are tons of moldy, rotten food inside the kitchen. To kick some sense into the negligent owners with his reprimands, he not only wants to put some brain into them, but also sets some ground rules with the biggest aim to grow up and to do their job effectively if they are really ready to save their hotel or if they want to grow their business. Ramsay was able to bring the staff together and finally create some changes after the frustrating events of this episode. He revamped the menu by adding a much better selection of food and repainted the pink dining room walls and gave the hotel rooms a more cohesive decor change. Once Ramsay left, one of the regular visitors expressed that according to him, the famous chef's changes were wrong, as a lot of what was removed were his favorite. However, many others shared that they would disagree and say that they were thrilled with the new menu on offer. Murphy's is still up and running thanks to Chef Ramsay, with 3.5 stars on Yelp across 154 reviews. That's all guys for today. Thank you for watching the video. And if you guys found it interesting, I would much appreciate it if you comment down below about the video and leave the thumbs up. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for getting updates related to our latest videos.